had, well, with languages, because I've been learning French at the same time. Like I've been always learning, teaching and learning, translating and learning French, English, and Russian, and it helps, of course. But now when people are or relying on artificial intelligence more and more, I feel like being an out of date,
Threatened.
yes, threatened and out of date thing, which is considered to be just puzzle in the chain. And it's quite, yeah, it's quite scary. Yeah.
Actually, for me, it's not because, for example, what I've been doing the last 6 months, I've been using ChatGPT, and I was able to create kind of like English courses. But when every example of every sentence, which is given as an example, provides some kind of general knowledge information. It's not something like, uh, for example, Alexander wants to buy an apple. Like, no, I want to have something like apple is the most popular fruit in the world. And also you can say, for example, New York is also called a Big Apple, for example. So that's a useful information that gives you something. And if you going to be if a student going to be exposed to a lot of general knowledge information in their studies, they're going to be like walking Google sooner or later.
Those are kind of general principle of learning languages in Cambridge, even in Harvard, I'm pretty sure. And it's quite, it's not kind of, I mean, it's not the new approach. It has to be like, it should be only like that. But it's true that Vasya is sleeping a lot. It's kind of just useless. It can be considered like a useless information, of course, because it's just about grammar constructions, not about general knowledge sources. Mhm.
Yeah, I found this idea. I think in India, when they teach their kids, they have some kind of like 10,000 general knowledge questions, and you can Google it, you'll find it. Okay, so and they tell their students like you have to know all of this and some of the history, some of this, but those questions are specific, and they limit the number of questions and answers 10,000. So and I like this idea because if you expose a child at the age of 10 or 15 or whatever before he graduates school, if you expose him to this 10,000 questions and answers related to everyday life, aspirin is created uh, to make your blood thinner. Boom, good information. Like people didn't know that. Many people still don't know it. Why? What is it for? For example, mercury is used in thermometers. Uh, so, but it's a very hazardous material. Be careful with that. So, and every sentence is like that. So that I want to use in my studying program. Because I translate teachers parents conferences in America, and it's horrible. They tell their parents like, oh, your child is kind of like progressing from the linguistic point of view, but you should do more. Like, and parents like what? You should go to the library, borrow a book, and let your child to read this book and watch YouTube. Like, you telling someone how to study English by telling him or her watch more YouTube, or just go to the library and borrow a book and read that book. That's all. That's your strategy, and that's crazy. You can't do
But
that
why?
every day.
It has to be the part of reading time. For me, it seems absolutely reasonable.
No, if they would say buy borrow a dictionary, like a Webster dictionary or something like that, then I can understand. But you cannot tell a student that go to the library and borrow a book. You have to tell them what book to borrow. You have to tell them borrow this dictionary, okay? Borrow this dictionary and read it from cover to cover 10 times and send me the record. So
If
that
we are
yeah.
all different, of course, but as for me, for example, I'm reading those
Mhm.
Oxford collection with little one. We read those small books, but for
Mhm.
example, Amelia Earhart, Alexander the Great, Henry Ford, And sometimes it's me who is about to choose. I just propose them the choice without really the choice, and they
Hmm.
pointed out the right book to read right now. But initially, we must be those adults who are leading them or guiding them to read the books. It's important for the brain to be connected with your capacity to write, with with youngsters' capacity to write, or young students to write correctly and stuff like that.
And to type too, because this is a very important skill. By the way, in America, when you apply for a job, you always have to tell how fast you can type. It's called touch typing. I think it's called touch typing.
Touch typing, I've heard blind typing method.
No,
Blind.
blinded. No, I'm not
Keep doing it.
100% sure. I think it's called touch typing. I mean, without looking at it. I was impressed when I went to my immigration lawyer and we tried to write a letter uh, about my case. She typed a letter like in 2 minutes. Like her keyboard was under her desk, and she like, okay, what you want to write? I said, I want to do this and that. She's like, "Trrrr."
Yes, I'm typing like that. Yes, just I don't look at. I mean,
Mhm.
blind blind method, because I'm not watching at the
Yeah.
keyboard. I don't need even, well, there are no Russian letters,
Oh, okay. I see. Okay.
and I'm just
But
it's
do you teach your students to do this?
no, I don't. I wanted to think about it more seriously in case of my daughter. I should do so. I don't know too much, too many programs probably. If you do know, you can probably recommend or share your knowledge.
Yeah. I'll send you the website. You can upload your exercises there and create your own lesson and just give them login and password, and they can teach themselves.
To how to type.
Yeah. There's a keyboard on the screen. I used to do it for myself, and I also recommend it to a couple of my students, and they've been doing that. And I taught my son. My son didn't want to do this. Okay, when I came to the States, he was already here in Russia, and I look how he types, like this. I said, "Yeah, what are you doing?" He said, "Oh, it doesn't matter." I said, "No, it's matter. It's a big deal because when you're gonna study at a university." You have to type a lot, and if you're gonna use only two fingers, you're gonna make a lot of typos. And
What kind of university has he graduated?
no, he right now he moved to Thailand. I mean, we transferred him from Russia to Thailand. Yeah. He lives in
Oh,
Thailand. Okay.
and you are not thinking about moving somewhere to the warmer countries?
Me, yeah, it's a different story. My wife is a doctor, and she can't leave her patients. That
Oh.
that's that's another disadvantage of that particular work, that particular job, to be a doctor. You're so much hooked to those clients, and it took her 10 years to build all of these patients around her. She's very well demanded. She
But
don't
in
want to be a
France,
doctor.
she's not so well highly paid, because here in France she
She
would.
cannot control. She cannot control her prices. She works for a clinic, and they control. People call her. People call the clinic and say, "We want to see this doctor." Oh, she's booked up for the whole month. Why don't you take that another one? If people call me when my YouTube channel took off, okay, I moved from $30 an hour for my English classes to up to 75. I charge for like a couple of months. I charged people $75 an hour. Then went down to 65, then 60, 50, and now it's $30 for 45 minutes. I constantly adjust my price depending on the supply and demand, and depending on a lot of circumstances. But the whole idea is I am in control of my price, and she's not. She's booked for a month and she cannot raise the price. What the hell is that?
And how many
So
hours are you supposed to work daily now? How many hours are you supposed to
yeah,
work?
I
10
work.
hours a
It's
day?
throughout the day, but I would say like 5 hours, 5 hours a day.
Not more.
I have like two, three lessons, two, three teaching sessions a day, and about 3, 4 hours of interpretation. But it's not like 4 hours straight. By the way,